With the end of the year approaching, students are feeling the stress of finals.
However, for some of those students, and especially seniors, the real stress takes place the few hours before graduation. All of that and more coming up on the newsfeed. Hello, and thanks for joining us on the newsfeed. I'm Amanda Bird.
And I'm Taylor Snodgrass.
The app Yik Yak has been making headlines around the country and recently became a hot trend in Blacksburg. We now go to reporter Sarah Klein in the newsroom. Sarah, this app has become very popular among tech students, hasn't it?
That's exactly right, Amanda. This app has gone viral. Now, I talked to students and they've had some mixed reactions about the app, and the Virginia Tech Panhellenic Council discourages students from using the app at all.
Sticks and stones may break your bones, but some students say one app's negative comments may hurt you.
Just having people say negative things about you can really wear down on you, even if you have a strong self-esteem.
The app Yik Yak has taken cyberbullying from computers to smartphones. The app has been making headlines across the nation, and high schools have been making an effort to ban the app. Yik Yak has spread to college campuses like Virginia Tech, and controversial comments have made it infamous.
I had a friend who did a performance on stage, and she went on Yik Yak and saw the comments, and I went to her room to tell her she did a good job because I went and saw the performance, and she had been crying because the comments that people made really affected her.
Now, anyone can post on the app, and their post will be completely anonymous. However, many of the negative comments are aimed towards the Greek community at Virginia Tech.
Samantha Harmon, who is on the Panhellenic Council in charge of Virginia Tech sororities, says the comments are a negative reflection of the Greek community.
And I think it just makes us seem like very elitists when definitely do not want to be perceived that way.
So while some students don't see Yik Yak as a problem, the Panhellenic Council hopes the trend will die down.
Hoping it just kind of blows over. I know we've told all of at least Panhellenic, and I've told the all the fraternities presidents in the Interfraternal Council to just try to keep Greek life out of it.
Ultimately, the choice of keeping it popular is up to Virginia Tech students.
Now, this is the first app we've seen, but we've previously had websites with similar content, and they've kind of fizzled out over the year. Live in the newsroom, this is Sarah Klein for the newsfeed. Back to you in the studio.
The spring semester is quickly coming to an end, and students are feeling the pressure as they prepare for final exams and graduation. Luckily, the Student Success Center is offering a solution to help students get through these tough times. Making it through the final stretch, an academic seminar series put on by the Student Success Center is designed to provide students with academic strategies that can help them through the final weeks of the semester. The idea for the series came from numerous students visiting the Student Success Series, asking for helpful tips on how to make it through finals. With a lack of time and sleep being the top complaints students often share, one of the main points of the series is to teach students to focus on prioritizing. For more information regarding seminars at the Student Success Center, you can visit www.studentsuccess.vt.edu.
There are many Relay for Life events held each year in Virginia, but Tech holds bragging rights to one of the most successful relay events in the nation. Megan Campbell has more on this story.
One person can make a difference. And in Virginia, thousands of people unite as a community to honor cancer survivors, raise awareness, and raise money to help the American Cancer Society fight the disease in an event called Relay for Life. Virginia is home to the biggest relay event in the world at Virginia Tech, and the campus raised over $450,000 this year alone. There are over 70 other events held across the state in areas such as Arlington, Charlottesville, Virginia Beach, Richmond, Fredericksburg, and many others. For selected cancers such as uterine, leukemia, lung, melanoma, and several others, the state of Virginia has an approximate number of 40,970 new cases in 2014, according to the American Cancer Society. Jillian Sunderland, Virginia Tech Relay Co-Executive for Recruitment, thinks that Relay is important because there are so many people affected by cancer.
Everyone's been touched by cancer in their lives, whether it's like personally or a family member, friend, or whether you just know someone who knows someone that has had cancer. So I really think that this is a cause that everyone can come together and attack this horrible disease so that no one has to lose a birthday to cancer.
While each event in the state involves different people and organizations, as well as a wide range of money raised, every relay shares the same unique experiences. Starting in the early evening and lasting to the next morning, participants gather and walk for those who have cancer, those who have passed away from cancer, and those who have survived. With the track as a centerpiece, teams camp out around the track for the night, while food, games, and activities provide entertainment and a family-friendly environment. All cancer survivors take the first lap around the track, which is surrounded by personalized bags in tribute to those who have been affected by cancer, and throughout the evening, teams make their laps around the track to help fight cancer. For the newsfeed, this is Megan Campbell reporting.
To find an event near you, visit www.relayforlife.com.
If you don't have anything to do on Wednesday nights in Blacksburg, you might be in luck. Nightlife in downtown Blacksburg has a new addition to an already popular destination. Top of the Stairs has a comedy club on Wednesday nights. Local comedians do stand-up, and headliner comedians come from places as far away as Ireland to be on the stage. The show has moved around a lot, where it has been to Awful Arthur's and 622 North, both in Blacksburg. But the host, Anthony Robinson, likes the new home at Top of the Stairs. He says people come in not knowing about the show, but end up being as loyal fans. Robinson is the group organizer and runs the show. His style is interactive, including the audience, so it doesn't just feel like they're watching the show. They feel part of it. His group of comedians meet for a comedy class on Sundays to get their ideas ready for their live shows. Robinson teaches the classes for free and opens the invitation to anyone interested.
It's free because when I first started, I didn't have a group or a place to belong to in order to talk with other people interested in stand-up. So just having the group helps foster, way more people who are interested in doing stand-up. So the people who are in the class now also help run the show. And all they ask is that they get stage time.
Tickets are $6 and the show starts around 10 p.m. every Wednesday night.
Virginia Tech is known for engineering and architecture. However, on this campus, students spend their Friday nights doing more than studying.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Speaking in front of audiences is more frightful than dying, according to many students. However, tonight, students shed those fears.
From 7 to 11 p.m. on Friday nights, it is not surprising to see students taking the stage. May 2nd in Squires Colonial Hall was no exception. Titled The Final Open Mic, students flocked to sing, rap, recite poetry, and even dance, free of charge. The event was put on by VT Expressions, a student organization dedicated to promoting the arts on campus. Expressions member Marlon Bell shared his inspiration for performing.
But most people, I think, do it because they just like doing what they're doing. They're trying to get better at it or just want to showcase others what they can do.
However, VT Expressions does not offer the only creative outlet. The creative writing department holds a monthly open mic in Newman Library. Here, students are able to recite poetry, prose, and enjoy pizza. Mia Oshiro, a rising sophomore and poet, shared her thoughts on writing and the creative process.
From experience, sometimes I try to take on a different persona, I guess, when I'm writing, and that just helps me broaden my horizons and think differently.
While tech may have its roots in engineering and architecture, the arts play an important role, both on campus and in the lives of students. This is Tom Bryant, reporting for the Newsfeed.
After the break, are you worried about where to park the day of your commencement ceremony? What about finding a stable job after graduation? We'll answer all those questions and more coming up on the Newsfeed.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Your online identity can help you stand out among your competition in the job market. For more on this story, Tori Cox reports.
Marketing yourself online has proven to be a successful way to get yourself recognized in the job market. Dr. Quinn Warnick, Assistant Professor of Digital Rhetoric at Virginia Tech, explains why having a personal website can work in your favor.
In this day and age, everyone has an online identity, whether or not you think you do, and maybe even whether or not you want to. Any interaction that you have online is going to leave some digital footprints out there.
According to Workfolio.com, 56% of hiring managers are more impressed with a personal website than any other tool. Jay Lesh, junior professional writing major at Virginia Tech, expresses the importance of personal websites.
A website, or even just some sort of LinkedIn profile or Facebook page, it allows you to really show off your own personality and your own flair way better. It allows you to kind of not only showcase who you are, but what you can do.
Planning out your website accordingly is vital to the success of your online presence. This takes a consistent identity on all of your online accounts.
Sometimes students wait until 2 weeks before graduation and then they say, oh no, I need to apply for jobs and I wonder what I look like online. I think that students now are getting a little more savvy about that and thinking about it earlier, but as soon as you can, start trying to take a little more control over your online identity, and that will serve you well in the long run, I think.
A strong online presence can serve as a means of standing out in the job market. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Tori Cox.
Marketing yourself online seems like a great way to brand yourself and stay ahead of the job market.
The Rotary Club is bringing a lot of chocolate to the Blacksburg community. On Saturday, May 10th, the Blacksburg Rotary Club is hosting their first annual chocolate festival in locations throughout downtown Blacksburg. The festival will feature chocolate samplings from gobble cakes, souvlaki, tots, and more. There will be street entertainers, live bands, a bake-off competition, and showings of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory at the Lyric. Rotary International is a global network of community volunteers united to provide humanitarian services. All money raised will go towards supporting not only the Rotary Club's local charities, but also their international initiatives, as well as including Bridges to Haiti, Polio Plus, Shelter Box, and more.
College students and community members alike can benefit from a new garden project that's mission is to strengthen the connection between humans and the land. Stephanie Morris has more on this story.
Located at the Turf Research Center, the Virginia Tech Indigenous Garden Project will work to grow vegetables native to the land. They will use the practices of Monacan and Totello people to grow vegetables through the summer. Dr. Cook, a professor of Indigenous Ecologies and Knowledge Systems, is spearheading the project. Cook explained to VT News they want to use the customs of the native people because they were the first farmers of Southwest Virginia. They will grow gourds and squash in mounds rather than rows. Ivan Mikhailov, a senior working on the project, explains the benefits of the garden.
This is a way for people to, A, get free food. I mean, we gotta put in a little work, but it's okay. And the ability to reconnect with the land. Like when you have the grocery store, you just cut that link between like, where does your food come from? It comes from, you ask a little kid who's never even seen a seed, like, you ask him, where's food come from? And he says, the grocery store, you know? Like, that's not how it should be. And this is a place to get people that connection back.
After working on the garden throughout the summer, the volunteers will harvest the food in the fall and will join in a celebratory meal. Cook told VT News he wants to truly build a community around food production. This is Stephanie Morris reporting for the Newsfeed.
Anyone staying in Blacksburg is welcome to join in the gardening efforts. To get involved, contact Dr. Sam Cook at sacook2@vt.edu.
While the horror of tripping on stage or the thought of finding a job might consume graduating seniors' minds, the challenge of parking is an immediate issue for their family members.
I'm really excited about graduation. I am really worried about how my grandparents are going to get to and from the stadium because they're so old. Also with the stairs inside, I'm really nervous about how they're going to do that. So I hope that Tech kind of accommodates for situations like that for older people.
Though VT Parking Services wants to assure that these individuals will be taken care of, the Castle parking lot will be converted to an ADA handicap parking section. However, this is not exclusively for the handicapped. If someone believes they need extra assistance, they will be accommodated. There also won't be drop-offs on the day of graduation, so be sure to plan ahead with time to park before heading over to commencement.
The Fashion Merchandising and Design Society just recently hosted its annual fashion show event. But how big is the Fashion Society in this area? Reza Nosrati has more on this story. Reza?
This past Wednesday, on April 30th, the Fashion Merchandising and Design Society put on their annual fashion show in Squires Commonwealth Ballroom. The theme this year was Urban Jungle, which was selected by the fashion show coordinators who organized the events, fourth-year apparel product development and merchandising major Katie Brasington, and third-year apparel product development and merchandising major Rachel Carter. Even with this major fashion event living in Blacksburg, it's hard to pursue fashion. Third-time shower at this annual event, and designer Samantha Skidmore explains the biggest struggle for her is a lack of fabric stores.
It's really hard because the only fabric store we have is Joann's, or if you want to drive all the way up to Floyd, you have Schoolhouse Fabrics out there. So most of my fabrics I order online, which is a challenge because you have no idea what it's like until you get it in, and there's no returns. So you kind of have to know your fabric.
In addition to the lack of fabric stores, fashion is just not seen as a top priority around Blacksburg. Lauren Walkup, the creative manager of the fashion show, gives her opinion as to why.
It's a little hard to be a supporter of fashion in Blacksburg, for sure. Just because I feel like it's more so in not a metropolitan area. You know, most people are here for engineering, science things. There's not too much creative minds on campus.
However, that didn't stop people from piling into the events. The show had to be postponed by 18 minutes for the accommodation of an additional 50 chairs to seat people.
And that concludes the Urban Jungle Fashion Show at Virginia Tech. I'm Reza Nosrati. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for joining us. That will wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Amanda Bird.
And I'm Taylor Snodgrass. We'll see you next time.